Hello and welcome back to Star Citizen. My name is Evenlease, and today on 10 Minutes More or Less Ship Review, right behind me, I have the new ANVIL Terrapin Medic. Let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, welcome back to another review. Today, the ANVIL Terrapin Medic, or the Turtle. The Turtle has become the Rescuer, now that you have the Medic variant of this ship, which is awesome. We've all been dying for this since the Terrapin has been around. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed the paint showcase for the ship in the beginning of the video. I don't know if I could be able to do that with every ship, because some ships have a, amazing amount of paints, while others have very limited amount. All the stats you see in this video are going to be either 4.0 or 3.2/4.3. Honestly, there's only one difference in one of the stats between the two builds, so everything you see will be current and also future. I'll go ahead and let you know which stat changes between the two. Now, starting off this ship, if you do want to own it and you want to have it in your hangar, it is $220 if you were to buy it on the Pledge store with real money. Now, currently, you cannot buy it in-game. It's not available in-game for purchase. Usually, that takes a couple patches for new ships to become available, so expect that a little bit later down the road. No available in-game price right now. The original Terrapin is around $5.5 million, so expect this one to probably be a little bit more than that in-game, unless they just match it like they did with the Pledge store price. Now, this ship does have pilot-controlled weapons, but not much, only giving you 350 damage per second due to the two size 2 CF-227 Badgers. It is a medical ship, but at least they give you something to maybe shoot some cannons off a rock or fend off one or two ships as they try to attack you. You do not have any missiles. There's no other armament on this ship, so not much protection to help stop an enemy from taking over what you might have. So make sure you bring some backup if you're going out to a combat zone, which this thing would honestly be really great at for one reason, and that's its ship HP. Before we get into that, let's talk about its shield. You do have two size 2 shield generators, giving you a total of 8,860 bubble shield, which is pretty nice. Not the biggest amount, but honestly, if you compare it to any other ship that's technically a medical ship currently released, that's a pretty sizable amount. And what I mean by medical ship, you got like the Cutlass Red. That ship has a lot less shield strength. The C8R Pisces, a lot less shield strength and a much smaller, not as capable. This ship does have a very capable, ability to stay alive, not only because of that shield strength, but because of the fact that it has 168,201 ship HP. So even if you do get attacked, you honestly can take quite the beating. You have like this turtleback armor that will keep you alive, and that's fantastic. You really do have to love just the amount of ship HP you have, because you can go to the front line, you can go to bunkers, you can go into the middle of a combat zone and not worried about just being picked off right away. That's not this. You're going to be going to the Valkyrie that just jumped in and tried to survive an attack while it dropped off some troops and couldn't last more than 5 seconds. So you're going to be going in there and taking all the wounded and dead away from that combat zone and pulling them out into safety, which is awesome. Now, the ship does have a top speed of 200 SCM with a 320 forward boost and a 2 forward backwards boost and a 1150 nav speed. Its maneuverability is not the greatest, sitting at a 35-35-120 pitch yaw roll, so something to consider. You are not maneuverable. Doesn't matter the thrusters you have, doesn't matter the fact that you have VTOL, your maneuverability is just quite crappy, so expect that to be kind of your only hindrance outside of the amount of damage you can output. Now, this ship, here's the big change between 3.24 and 4.0. Currently, in 3.24.3, this ship has 10 SCU of hydrogen fuel. In 4.0, that goes up to 104.5 hydrogen SCU. So that jump is massive. I don't know if that's just a number that they changed accidentally and it's not going to be that much, but honestly, they did just do a big like fuel overhaul and everything in 4.0, so that probably is a pretty accurate number. So we'll see. We'll see if that number stays in 4.0 or not. Now, you also have 1.2 SCU of quantum fuel. That's the same in both builds. Great. And then your EM rating is sitting around 14,500. So definitely not bad, especially if you compare it to other available medical ships. That's a pretty good EM rating. Now, as I was saying, this ship does have quite the ability with the tier 2 medical bed inside of it. Obviously, you have other ships like the Carrack and stuff that have medical rooms and medical beds, or the Polaris, but those ships aren't meant to go to a bunker and sit there and pick up wounded, right? You can definitely use it that way, but it's a lot more cumbersome and a lot harder to do because of their massive size. With this thing being such a very small ship, you can absolutely go into a very cramped area or a very explosive battle and pretty much go undetected outside of the radar that pings you. Now, thinking of that, let's take a go ahead. Let's go ahead and take a look at the inside of the ship. As you can see right here is the ramp where you would enter. Now, you do have the ability to close the ramp, open the lamp, as well as turn on external lights, which as you can see, it just lights up the ramp area there a little bit. So if you're in like a nighttime area, you just turn that on so people can see where to enter, even though, honestly, they'll see the beaming white of, the heaven's gates here blaring out of the ship entry anyways, so not too much to worry about. Now, once you are in the ship, if you look directly to your right, you do have a bunch of different components, including a relay station right here next to your radar. Pretty good to know where that is, because once multi-crew's here, that's going to be one of the things you have to constantly take care of. Obviously, the medical bed is right in the middle of the room, just like in the regular Terrapin, where the scanning seat is right in the middle of the room. This is where you can set your spawn or go ahead and take care of any injuries if you need to, which is fantastic. Your digital assistant is here on the wall, or if you lay down, one will come up above you. There's more components, sprayed across, a little bit over here, jump drive, stuff up here, life support, some down there in the tunnel towards the pilot's seat. And then you have a nice little area for the doctors with crew storage. If you were to press F here, you can go ahead and open that up, giving you a capacity of 500,000. Now, if you move over here, you do have also guest stowage. So this is where your, guest that you're attending to would probably store their gear, or, that attending nurse or doctor would go ahead and take care of that. So outside of that, you do have some areas where you can go ahead and grab a fire extinguisher if there's a fire on board. You have all your medical services, including a door to store any stuff. Surprisingly, nothing in here. Why do they have some stuff in certain areas of other ships, like the Redeemer or, the C8R, but in other ships, they come lacking? We need more. Give us more. As you can see, this ship has a very big lack of, crew amenities. You have a crew of potentially a nurse or a doctor, and then your pilot, which, by the way, they added a jump seat, woohoo, from my preview. This was not here, and now it is, which is fantastic, because that is one of the biggest drawbacks of the ship prior. It didn't have that. Now it does. But you don't have a gun rack, you don't have a bed, you have nothing really to take care of your crew to go ahead and hopefully save them from some sort of assault that comes through that door, or just maybe they're out in a battlefield for a while and they need to get some rest. They don't have the ability to do that. I mean, technically, you could lay on your own doctor's bed, but you can't really do that in the game. You can't sleep on these things, so kind of too bad there. Moving forward here, you do have your engineering terminal, as well as another relay. Surprisingly, such a small ship, 2 relay centers, and, some more components. Pretty interesting. Right here is the pilot seat, which, as you can see, you have multiple MFDs, great looking MFDs, an all right looking cockpit area, which has a blast shield that you can close, as well as a independent switch for your, emergency light, which is pretty awesome. Prior, in other ships, you cannot have independent from your headlight to your emergency light. So you press L, they both come on. Now, they're independent. You press L, you only get headlights. You have to hit the button on the dash for your emergency lights, which is pretty cool. As you see here, it's a pretty decent ship. It's a very small ship, and it's capable, very capable of doing its job, which is always awesome. But, you know, there's just some things missing from this. Honestly, for me, this ship is an 8 out of 10 just due to those facts. It doesn't have any firepower. I mean, you do have 2 size 2 guns, but there's no firepower. There's no missiles. You have plenty of space for it, and there's nothing to really add to its scare factor when it comes to other ships attacking you. But you also have no crew quarters able to take care of the crew on board other than a seat and another seat. That's it. So an 8 out of 10 for me. What do you guys think of the ANVIL Terrapin Medic? Let me know in the comments down below. I really do appreciate every one of you. I was gone for a few days due to Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had a great holiday. If you don't celebrate, maybe you're in a different country, you don't celebrate the holiday, I just hope you had a great week. Great IAE going on so far. Again, I appreciate every one of you. Channel members, you guys are all awesome. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.